They fucking did it, man. The disease has spread and it has finally infected Call of Duty 4. They have officially added supply drops into Modern Warfare Remastered. I do apologize because I am slightly late on this topic. It was supposed to go out yesterday, but by the time I could actually make the video, it was a little bit too late. So I decided it would probably be better just to postpone it one more day. So many people were asking me about this on Twitter and stuff. I kind of already tweeted my initial impressions and stuff as soon as I saw the news, but I wasn't really in a position to make a video. But here we are today. We're gonna break this shit down. So we kind of already predicted this. I made a video about this about a month ago in the middle of November when the people on PC or whatever, they kind of dug into the files of the game or whatever, and they found some images of like a shovel and some sort of coding for like a black market system and stuff. Basically, they found a whole bunch of evidence in the game that would lead us to believe that supply drops would be in Modern Warfare Remastered. I know some people didn't believe it at the time. Personally, I believed it because, I mean, it makes fucking sense, man. It just makes sense. So the December 13th update rolls around and, you know, they're telling us about all the remaining maps coming in. They added in Hardpoint, Gun Game, Christmas Crash, you know, all sorts of great stuff coming to the game. Everyone's all excited. We get on, we download this update, and all of a sudden we're like, wait a minute. They added in supply drops as well. And I'm like, wait, hold on, what the fuck? Where did this come from? How come in all of these tweets and all of this information that was given to us about the December update, not once did they mention anything about supply drops? That was just a surprise, like, oh, by the way, here's some supply drops. So that's my first problem right there. They don't even have the fucking balls to tell us what they're doing, you know? They know that this shit is wrong. That's why they won't even address it. They won't even talk about it. They're scared to even announce that they're bringing supply drops to the game. So I think that tells you enough about the situation right there. Now, let me make this very clear. I'm not really blaming Raven for this because as far as I understand the system, at the end of the day, the final say comes from Activision. Activision is the one that pushes these supply drops onto the other developers. From what I understand, you know, some stuff came out in Black Ops 3 about how Vonderhaar was not happy with the supply drop situation. I don't think he wanted them in Black Ops 3, and, you know, Activision kind of just said, fuck what you want, go ahead and throw them in the game. So I'd be willing to bet that we probably have a pretty similar situation here. At least from everything I've seen from Raven, they seem to listen to the community, so for them to put in supply drops into the game, that's like the complete opposite of listening to the community, so it kind of just makes sense to me that Activision kind of pushed this onto them. But anyways, let's go ahead and talk about the actual supply drops themselves. First, let's address how you actually earn them. Honestly, it seems like they've implemented a system that is quite similar, if not exactly like Infinite Warfare. You go into this thing called the Depot, which is like the new marketplace, and you have your basic supply drops there, common and rare, 10 crypto keys, 30 crypto keys, same as always. You can buy them with COD points as well. 200 COD points is one supply drop. Now, instead of crypto keys, you have these new things called Depot credits, which, you know, it's the exact same thing. Of course, they just have to come up with a new name for all the different games. So that's all pretty standard stuff. That's exactly what we're used to. Now, the thing that they took from Infinite Warfare, which was not in Black Ops 3, is the salvage system. Now, I understand maybe some people have never played Infinite Warfare, so maybe you have no idea what the fuck I'm talking about. So basically, they have this thing called salvage, and you use the salvage to create whatever guns that you want. You earn the salvage by just playing the game. Simple as that. So Modern Warfare Remastered took that system and they called it parts now, and you now can play the game, get these parts, and then you can use the parts to create whatever weapons that you want. So we know about the system, you know, it's all pretty standard stuff. It's basically the exact same thing from Infinite Warfare. We're used to that. We don't give a fuck about that. What we're concerned with here is what is actually inside the supply drops themselves. Well, first of all, of course, they have new camos, calling cards, emblems, all the basic shit that you're expected to see in supply drops, which I'm totally fine with. Actually, if it were up to me, I would take out like emblems and stuff because I don't care about that. You know, I'd actually rather have a higher chance of getting a better gun camo than I would having an emblem. Like, I don't care about emblems. I don't know about you guys, but I can always appreciate some new camos for my gun. So camos and supply drops drops, that's acceptable. Now the next thing we have are these things called weapon kits, which basically what they do is you put it on your weapon and it changes the appearance of your weapon, but it does not change the weapon stats. It almost looks just like a weapon variant, like you have like an AK, but it looks completely different. So you think, oh, it has different stats, but they do not change the stats, so it's good. They're not like weapon variants. So I mean, I guess I can accept that as well. You know, that's kind of similar to a camo. And finally, the last thing you can get are the melee weapons. And the way they're kind of getting away with this one is they're claiming that melee weapons are just a cosmetic change because technically all of the weapons are the same thing as a regular knife. They just look different. So they're claiming it's just a cosmetic change. But I kind of have a problem because we all saw what happened in Black Ops 3, right? So here are my two issues with them adding all of these weapons. Number one, melee weapons kind of opened the door for the real weapons to be added in Black Ops 3. You know, they were kind of the gateway weapon that brought in all of the rest of the weapons into Black Ops 3. First, they were like, alright guys, it's just gonna be camos and stuff. It's all gonna be cosmetic, no big deal. Then they're like, you know what guys, I know we said no weapons, but let's go ahead and just throw in some melee weapons. It's not a big deal, you know, these aren't really overpowered or anything. Not a big deal. I mean, I know we said cosmetic only, but just throw these in as well, right? And the next thing you know, they're like, you know what guys, I know we said cosmetic, and then I know we said it's just gonna be melee weapons, but you know what? Since we've already done all that, why don't we just go ahead and add in some real guns too? You know, it's not a big deal. We already have the melee weapons, so these weapons just shoot bullets. No big deal though. So as we saw in Black Ops 3, adding weapons in general is just a bad idea because it sets a bad precedent, and you know, they keep inching closer and closer to adding real weapons. We just don't want to go there at all. So no weapons at all in supply drops. Now my second issue with this one's kind of more of an opinion, but personally, I just think all of those fucking weapons are stupid. It's not like they're good or anything. In fact, they're fucking terrible. It's like running around with a knife. You know, it's not gonna help you out. It's not a good weapon to use. You're probably gonna do terrible with it. You would pretty much be better off using any gun in the game over using a knife or a melee weapon. But I just think that they start to get a bit ridiculous. I know they're maybe not too ridiculous right now, although some of them are pretty stupid, but by the end of Black Ops 3, I think we had like 15 plus different weapons. They started adding in like boxing gloves and stuff, and like it's just stupid. Like that doesn't belong in the game. I don't want to see any of this ridiculous stuff in the game. Like how fucking stupid do you look with a boxing glove versus a dude with the AK-47? Like you look fucking stupid. You're not killing him. So I've just seen what they did with Black Ops 3, and I don't want to see that level of ridiculousness come to Modern Warfare Remastered. So that's really my problem with the weapons. Now, a final thing to point out here before we close this out. As of right now, alright, keyword right now, they are saying that none of these things are exclusive to supply drops, meaning that they're not pulling an Infinite Warfare on us. You know how Infinity Ward was like, you know what guys, don't worry about supply drops, okay? We have this new thing called salvage, so if you don't get the weapon that you want from your supply drop, you can just create it yourself using salvage. And everyone's like, oh, that's cool, you know, that seems fair. Then the real game comes out and we find out that some of the weapons are supply drop exclusives and you cannot create them with salvage. So at least they're not doing that with Modern Warfare Remastered for now. Once again, keyword for now. We'll see what happens in the future if it stays that way or not. You know, we might have a scenario where maybe they don't sell enough supply drops. You know, number one, the people that are playing Modern Warfare Remastered are probably less likely to buy supply drops because they're more of, I'd say, like the old school Call of Duty players who remember how Call of Duty used to be, and they're very against supply drops. Not to mention that I think the player base is probably lower. I would love to see the comparison, but just the fact that there are so many noobs out there in the world, us on YouTube, like you guys watching and me making the videos, we're a very small percentage of the people that play Call of Duty, so they have so many just randoms out there that have no idea about supply drops or anything like that. They don't know about any of the drama. They probably don't even give a fuck about COD 4. They're over there jumping around on Infinite Warfare, going 4 and 20 every game. They're having so much fun doing that, alright? So we here are kind of the minority, so I feel like we might run into a problem where Modern Warfare Remastered just isn't selling enough supply drops. It's not competing with Infinite Warfare, and they need to change something. So Activision's like, you know what guys, let's go ahead and add in some supply drop exclusive weapons to increase our sales. I could definitely see something like that happening in the future. If it happens, I want everyone to know you fucking heard it right here first, alright? So I'm taking credit for that right now. Anyways, that's it for the video. That's basically my thoughts. I'm not too upset about the camos or the weapon kits, but I am a little bit upset, not a little bit. I actually am pretty upset, I guess, that they added in all those dumbass weapons to the game. So that's pretty much it. Let me know your thoughts on the situation down below. Be sure to leave a like rating if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're not already. Follow me on Twitter. Links in the description down below. Other than that, have a good day and peace out.